and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of prayer. Thank you.
Alderman Wadawa.
Here.
Alderwoman Calderon.
Here.
Alderman Brickner.
Here.
Alderman Fire.
Here.
Alderman Damon.
Here.
Alderwoman Fliss.
Here.
Mayor Tutai.
Here. Telephonic meeting, none.
And the meeting has been properly posted and noticed.
Public hearings, none. Presentation, none. Citizen comments.
Just that gentleman, I don't know if he signed in, Mayor.
Sir? Yeah, just come up to the table and then just state your address and your name, please. Thank you. Yep, right there.
Please.
And it looks like that's on, yes.
Hi. I would like to introduce myself to the city. My name is Ron Wiesner. My parents were one of the first people that moved into Harbor View Village. And I just recently moved back. I lived the last 35 years in Waukesha and raised my family out there. My mother passed away in February. She was 97 years old. She was one of the oldest people in the neighborhood. And I just couldn't sell my dad's house, so I decided to move back to my hometown, which I grew up in. It's really different since when I first, grew up here. And I want to be the best citizen I can for St. Francis. And I want to do whatever I can and maybe do some volunteer work or some, I'm process of, fixing up my parents' house here and there. I have a request, though, of the city. I have this one tree on the side. It's on the sea, and the branch is growing over my house. And I would like to maybe have the city, if they could, just cut that branch off. I really don't want a branch growing over my house in case there's a storm and it lands on my house. So that is one request. And another thing, I guess there was a tree right next to it. I don't know if it was diseased or something, but they cut it down.
Is this on the Waterford side or the Kingen side?
It's on the Waterford side. I got three trees now on my property. We're all surrounded my property. And one of the trees they replanted was a cherry tree. And a fruit tree, and it's planted right near my driveway. And I Googled it, and they said that tree does, it's called a pink flare cherry tree. And I Googled it, and they said that it will produce fruit. And well, was my concern when it grows up, I'm not really too happy about having those cherries all over my driveway, and then I'm driving over it, and I got another mess to pick up. I'm a senior citizen, I'm a veteran, and I try my best to, keep my lawn cut and my sidewalks shoveled and everything. And of all the trees they had to plant there, why does it have to be a cherry tree? I've tried to talk to different people, and I get no answer. And I thought I'd maybe come down here and maybe talk to them about that.
First of all, thank you for your service. Second, welcome back. And can you say your address again for Melinda?
Okay.
She's in charge of the DPW, and she can look into both the tree that's going over your house and the other tree.
Okay, my name is Ron Wiesner, Wiesner, and I live at 4072 South Kingen Avenue.
That corner of Waterford and King.
Yeah,
Yep.
northeast corner of Kingen and Waterford. So, otherwise, I'd say I really like moving back. You know, all the neighbors that I grew up with, they're all gone. They're all dead or whatever, you know, moved away. And I'm kind of like the old timer in the neighborhood. You know, and it's kind of nice to. St. Francis, like I say, has really changed over the years. It's really built up compared to when I grew up here. But I just want to, you know, introduce myself and a few concerns with my property, which, you know,
Absolutely.
I would like to maybe get some answers, you know.
We will be in touch. I'll get with Melinda in the morning, and we'll discuss.
Okay,
Melinda?
Stop by here and give me your phone number. I don't want you to know.
It's on the record.
1-900.
But if you come over and give me your phone number so I can reach back out.
sure, okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Nice to meet you.
Moving on. Consent agenda. Is there any alderperson would like anything removed?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as listed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Recommendation of action from committees, commissions, and boards. Action to be taken from the licensing committee meeting held January 3rd, 2023.
Mayor, from this evening's licensing committee, we're looking for approval for a beverage operator's license for Patrick S. Carroll.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
That's all from licensing, Mayor.
Thank you, Don. Resolutions and ordinances, none. Discussion items with possible action, none. Appointments to committees, commissions, and boards, none. Correspondence with possible action or referral to committees, commissions, and boards, none. Unfinished business, none. Other business, none. Department heads. I will let Jackie go first.
Thank you. You should have received a copy of the 2019 annual report, and forthcoming, we will be forwarding the 2020 and 2021. They are also posted on the website for the health department if you want to take a look at them ahead of time. Of 2019 was our first year providing service to the City of St. Francis residents. And so you have kind of an outline of our communicable disease follow-up, which, as you probably know, maybe Kathy Scott had talked to you in the past. You know, our highest numbers for communicable disease tend to be chlamydia and gonorrhea, sexually transmitted infections. And so in 2019, we started to work on a reproductive health program through the health department, offering testing for STIs. So due to COVID in 2020, that program was really put on hold, but we've been doing a lot of work to bring that programming back, as there is a need within our communities for that resource for testing. So we'll be hoping to address those high levels of communicable disease. We were able to get out into the community and participate in some of the events, like Community Night Out. We offered a walk here in coordination with the two mayors, and also hosted a event with former Governor Shriver regarding Alzheimer's and his book that he had written, My Two Elaines. And then also had our annual substance misuse information event, where we had a group from Milwaukee, Don't Die Wisconsin, that does a podcast, do a presentation, interview, and answering questions. And then we also had Narcan training at that event, and then also the Wake Up Call room, which is a room that we work in coordination with the police department to set up and have educators go through and parents go through to identify signs for drug use in their teenage children. So Other than that, we're continuing to work back at getting those programs back up and running. So, any questions on 2019?
Thank you. Melinda?
Thank you, Mayor. I think we all survived the blizzard of December of 2022. It was, I think, all the preparation that all the department heads did and the highway department, we all did, that kept it at a minimum here. Crews were in plowing and salting. We did have to come in and address some drifts, but overall, I think it was a good response. We even saved the Christmas tree Christmas morning. So it had blown over and we came on and stood it up. So other than that, I was out of the office most of the Christmas holiday. And so I don't know anything else that happened. But I didn't get a lot of calls, so I'm all good. And with that, I pass.
Thank you. Chief Poplar?
Just a few things. Closed out 2022 with another record-breaking year for calls for service, both EMS and fire. Kind of echoing Melinda's, I was out of the office for the holiday too. Is been pretty busy with fires and emergencies, especially since Christmas Eve, and then even to today, the crews were up in Mequon from about 3 a.m. until just before lunchtime, so helping out with that larger fire. And I'll be out of the office in Wauwatosa for firefighter candidate interviews for the next 3 days. So we have 100 candidates to interview over the next 3 days between now and Friday. So that's that's a joint with West Allis, North Shore, and Wauwatosa, and keep our list current. And with that, I pass.
Thank you, Chief. Chief Hunter?
Thank you, Mayor. We are currently doing custodian candidate background investigation for custodian. I'm sure Mark will pick up on that. That should be done tomorrow. I put an emphasis on that over our police officer candidate background, just to make sure that was taken care of first. Obviously, the need is there. So we're also simultaneously going through a new officer candidate background investigation. If that background investigation comes out as we hope it does, and we don't see any issues, as that person is currently employed by a police department, that person will then be given a conditional offer of employment, and that will make us whole again. And then we can move on to promotions and whatnot. The 2017 Ford Explorer that's in the lot, the white one that's sitting in the corner, that's going to go on Wisconsin Surplus sometime this month. I will send out an email to everybody in the event that they have somebody that they want to, or that may be interested in purchasing the vehicle. It'll go on Wisconsin Surplus. I'll put all the information out to the entire city so they're aware of that. We had an event over the past week where it was a very dangerous event. There was an individual within our city that's currently in custody and will be in custody hopefully for a while. He was he woke up a roommate and he was homicidal. He set the couch on fire. So our officers got there before it was a fire call, because the way the call came in, it didn't come in as a fire call. And when the officers got there, they ended up fighting with the individual that had a hammer, took him into custody. At the same time, they received smoke inhalation because he set the basement on fire. So the officers were able to get him taken into custody. One officer sustained a cut to his face from a kick, and like I said, all three had smoke inhalation. Same time, the fire department responded. It was great assistance by both agencies working together, and they took care of the fire in the basement as the subject stacked fire up against the wall of the basement. I'm sorry, fire. He stacked papers up against the wall of the basement to try to set the house on fire. He's in custody on 2 counts of arson and 1 count of battery to law enforcement and reckless endangering safety. So hopefully he will not be out in on our streets anytime soon. And other than that, as of January 1st, I became the president of McLEA. With that, the state must have gotten a lot of grants for the county, because they found 3 brand new committees that they organized, and I'm now part of 3 new committees that I was on one this morning at 7:45. So it should be an active year for me with meetings and whatnot. And with that, I pass.
Thank you, Chief. Ann?
I pass, sir.
Thank you. Paul?
Just to wish everyone a happy new year, and hope you have a nice Christmas, and with that, I pass.
Thank you. Mark?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, the interview committee chose a candidate for the custodian position. Background checks are currently being completed. It's a person that some of you probably know, but we'll make an announcement as soon as they go through the background check and get that completed.
Thank you. Matt?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Just wish everyone a happy new year. Happy to be back for 2023, and excellent work, Chief. That what your officers go through, and the kind of calls that they get are stories that I definitely. I wouldn't put myself in necessarily, so thank you that your team of professionals are able to handle that type of situation. And with that, I pass.
Thanks. You mean you wouldn't run into a burning building? Steve?
I'll pass this evening, sir.
Thank you. Don?
I will also pass this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. Debbie?
Just wish everyone a happy new year. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Sarah?
Nothing for me. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Sean?
I want to wish everybody a very prosperous and less eventful 2023. I'd like to see a lot of positive development with the city, but this council saw a lot of challenges in 2022. Let's move forward with a better 2023. Ron, it was a pleasure to meet you. Doesn't matter what age our parents are, sorry for your loss, but welcome back to the community.
I have a question too. Who is my alderman role person?
Debbie and Matt.
The bookends.
The bookends.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
And his will be easy to remember. The actor, Matt Damon.
Yeah, right.
Anything else, Sean?
Just very briefly, nice to see you again, Gene, and to the department heads, nice to see you. Let's have a great new year. And other comments, Mayor? We'll say none.
Thank you. First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. Jackie, thank you for coming and giving the updates. Chiefs, as always, great giving us all the info. You guys top. Can't say much more than that. We're going into 2023. We've had 2 years with COVID. I challenge all of us, myself included, to make this one of the best years. We need it. So I'm challenging myself and everyone here to make this city better. We've all earned it. And with that, can I get a motion?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. We are adjourned.